ES Audio.
Hi, I'm Mark Blunden, and this is the Evening Standard's Tech and Science Daily. Coming up, why Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse avatar looked, well, a bit basic. But first, Sony, makers of the PlayStation, is being sued for £5 billion over claims of overcharging for games and purchases while playing the titles. 9 claimants have launched legal action in the UK against Sony in a case brought by the consumer rights campaigner Alex Neil. The case accuses the gaming giant of imposing unfair terms and conditions on game developers and publishers, forcing customers to pay up to 30% commission on games purchased through the company's proprietary PlayStation store. But damages for each person in the action, being brought under competition laws, is only up to £562, and Sony is yet to comment on the case.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Next.
6, 5.
A week from now, NASA is set to blast off the US Space Agency's first mission to the moon since Apollo 17 50 years ago. Up to 100,000 people are predicted to gather for the event at Florida's Kennedy Space Center for a 42-day test launch of an Orion spacecraft as part of the Artemis program that will in future send 4 humans up. The future aim is to build bases on the south pole of the moon and start a space station able to remain in lunar orbit nearly 750,000 miles from Earth. It will be the first such NASA mission in 50 years, and the capsule alone's costing the equivalent of £19 billion. Next, an NHS trial will see nurses wear virtual reality-style goggles on home visits to maximise time with patients. The smart glasses will transcribe appointments directly to electronic records in a bid to reduce time-consuming administration tasks. The intention is to give nurses more time for clinical duties such as checking blood pressure, dressing wounds, and assessing a patient's health needs. The VR goggles will be trialled in the North Lincolnshire and Goole NHS Foundation Trust area from next week, with patients who give their consent for the technology to be used and their data to be recorded. Research has found that stimulation of parts of the brain linked to motivation and reward is offering a clue to therapy for treatment-resistant depression. The UT Health Houston study of 10 patients published in Molecular Psychiatry used the type of deep brain stimulation more usually deployed to treat patients suffering from Parkinson's disease and tremors, where electrodes generate electrical impulses to impact brain activity. According to the study, 8 out of the 10 patients in the trial showed a response to the procedure. Now, Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg has been the subject of a few internet lols after unveiling his somewhat underwhelming metaverse avatar that looked, well, a bit basic and certainly very noughties. The tech billionaire posted an avatar selfie standing in front of the digitised Eiffel Tower, the graphics quality of which was compared to something from the children's block building game Roblox. But responding to the online ribbing he received, Zuckerberg took to Instagram to post an updated version of the digitised character, and this one was far more 2022. He suggested the dodgy original was 4 or 5 previous versions ago, as his new smoother-looking selfie was actually the result of several iterations worth of development. Let's go to the ads. Coming up, the fancy chef helping families cope with the cost of living crisis, plus a magical transparent quartz crystal. Why not hit rate and follow in the meantime? Welcome back. The Liberal Democrats are claiming that monitors used for measuring the amount of sewage being pumped into the sea across the UK are faulty or are not even installed. The opposition party says Environment Agency data shows water companies are failing to monitor sewage discharges along the coastline, including at British seaside resorts. It comes as dozens of pollution warnings were put into place across beaches and swimming spots in England and Wales this week after heavy rain overwhelmed sewer systems, leading water companies to release sewage into the natural environment. The Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs says an action plan will be published on the 1st of September to outline a strategy to deal with sewage overflows. Hundreds of shards of what's being described as a magical transparent quartz crystal have been discovered at a Stone Age burial site dating from around 6,000 years ago. More than 300 pieces of the valuable rock were found at an early Neolithic burial site at Dawston Hill, many of them actually in ancient graves. Archaeologists believe the pieces of mineral were used to decorate graves at a ceremonial site near England's border with Wales after being transported from another site 80 miles away. And finally, a chef whose meals are more usually enjoyed by diners at Michelin-starred restaurants has 7 million views and 100,000 followers on TikTok with his top tips for zero-waste cooking. Tristan Welch's videos reveal kitchen secrets, such as how to turn sour milk into ricotta cheese and stale bread into delicious brownies. Welch's ideas have been a hit with families keen to eat well, despite UK inflation soaring over 10%, which has hit its highest level in 40 years. You're up to date. Come back at 4 p.m. for the leader from the Evening Standard here in London, and we'll be back on Tuesday at 1 p.m. See you then.